Welcome to the Jam Happy Hour. I hope you're having a fantastic afternoon or evening wherever you are in the time zones of enjoying some wine and enjoying some music. Welcome into your Jam Happy Hour. This evening, we're going to be joined by Jetta. She's jumping in from New York City. Hi.
Hi, Jana. How we doing?
So good. We were talking off camera about how it's a very quick hour, but what I love about this hour is, um, our fans get to know you and your fans get to know us, and basically you and I just get to hang out and vibe and perform and be creative and have a great time and get to know each other. So I hope you're down for a good hour.
I love it. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for having me. I know the Jam fan base rolls strong, so I'm honored. I'm honored to be here.
And
And
we're a
nice
lot
to
of fun.
Yes, I do know that. That's what everyone said. Everyone's like, there's a fun. And I'm like, okay, don't make me nervous. And just let me
No,
go. Let me meet
nothing.
Jana.
Uh, Between Jana and Jetta, we're just going to be like, I can
I
already
know.
feel like the vibe is going to be there. I do want to jump right in kind of quickly, though, for someone who maybe hasn't experienced your music before. How would you describe your sound? Or is it all kinds of sounds?
I feel like my music started as comedy music, and now
Hmm.
it's sort of landed in a slice of life type of vibe. So it should just sound like your thoughts and feelings, and it should be like a little bit comforting, hopefully, and maybe sometimes funny and sometimes sad.
Well, that sounds like life.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
it. That's it in a slice of life. What would you like to play for us first this evening?
I would love to play the first single I ever released called My Nothing.
All right. Well, here's my nothing with Jetta Juriansz here in the Jam Happy Hour.
Thank you. Navigating day to day is like thread and needle point. Can I talk about my day? I don't mean to disappoint. Just pretend to listen. I can't tell the difference at this point. But you can have it all my nothing. You can take what's left, all my nothing. I don't have much to offer. I don't have much to give, but you can have it all my nothing. All my nothing, 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 nothing left to give. Nothing, 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 nothing. Concentrating on your face, see you stifling a yawn. Maybe I'll drift out to space. Would you notice I was gone? You used to think I was clever. I think I remember how it was. But you can have it all my nothing. You can take what's left, all my nothing. I don't have much to offer. I don't have much to give, but you can have it all all my nothing, all my nothing, 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 nothing left to give, nothing, nothing, nothing. Thank you.
That is setting the tone here in the Jam Happy Hour. My Nothing with Jetta Juriansz. You have been creative in many different ways. It's not just music for you. It's music, it's acting, it's comedy. Have you always been were you an emotive child? Were your parents like, this doesn't surprise me at all?
Yes. Actually, it's so funny you say that, because I think my mom really encouraged like us to be artistic and to express
Mhm.
ourselves in general. And so when we when we would go on trips, which was frequently because my mom loves to travel, she would
I love
have
her already.
us. She loves a road trip. She loves anywhere at any time. But often she would have us journal like our thoughts and feelings, what we would be doing like during the
Mm.
day. And so we unearthed one of these like travel journal sessions that we had done for a trip one time. And I
Aw.
have 5 sisters. So like the first 2
Wow.
logs were from my sisters, and they were like, yeah, we woke up early. We drove for, 6 hours. And like my other sister was like, yeah, we had breakfast. And then we like went on a hike. I was
Just
like,
very detailed.
yes. And then I went and I was like, the sun rose and I rose with it. I saw the colors in the sky and I thought, wow, I'm so lucky to be alive. I was like, so
Heavy.
emotive. So I know, I'm like, why was I braces, just like feeling everything all at
All the
once?
things.
I don't
But,
know.
look where we are. Look where we ended up.
That's exactly. Well, now I get to force people to listen to it in song form. And that's really why I do
I'm
this.
curious, where did your sisters end up in life? Are they like accountants and lawyers
You
and
know,
doctors? And
that none of them are pursuing the arts as their career so far. Two of my
Mhm.
sisters are still young, and I'm holding out hope. I'm like, come on, be an actor. None of them want to do this. They're all extremely creative in their regular lives, but they, for the most part, work in the medical field. I have a sister who is a
Interesting.
nurse. Yeah, I have a sister who's a social worker. My other sister is like going back to school. It's just like, yeah, so they're all, I mean, my sisters are the most impressive thing about me. I am the worst one. They are the
Aw.
coolest. They are the coolest thing and my favorite thing about being alive. So, yeah, and they all sing like songbirds. They have like beautiful voices. They just don't want to do it. I'm like, what?
You're like,
Why?
fine, I'll do it. I'll take
Yeah.
the torch.
Hey, if
It's
if it
fine.
were up to me, I would exploit every single one of them. I would make us all sing together like the Von Traps, but turns out they want to like change lives or whatever and like heal people. I don't know.
What? Heal people.
I
Well,
know.
I saw that you grew up kind of in an interesting way in Arizona. I'm
Mhm.
from the Southeast. I've traveled a lot for work, but the only time I've ever been to Arizona was for a work trip out to Sedona.
Oh yeah,
And
Sedona's beautiful.
amazing. But then
Gorgeous.
all of a sudden you've got like Arizona, Los Angeles, New York. Like you're
Yeah.
getting all of the influences in at once. What is your favorite?
Oh my gosh. Well, that's hard to say because I moved to LA when I was 19, so I feel
Oh
like
gosh.
in a lot of ways I feel like I grew up, like I had my like second
Yeah.
puberty in LA and I became an
Yeah.
adult, and I spent the last 10 years there, and I just moved to New York a month ago, so I'm like I still feel like a tourist. Like I keep on having to remind myself like this isn't a vacation. You live here, Jetta. And I feel like my body and mind haven't like processed it yet. But so far, they're so different. But
Mhm.
I'm having such a good time in New York. I like really am. It's so I think my favorite part about it, especially as an actor, is there's just so much creativity to be had. It feels like
Sure.
there's just like so much happening. Like someone's making something in a black box theater somewhere, and it's just been a lot of really fun, creative interaction since I moved here, which is great. But LA does have the beach,
the hot beach.
Well,
And that
yes, and judging by
I
your
love it.
Instagram, you clearly miss the beach. If you are
I
enjoying the music
do.
here with Jetta, jump into her socials. Absolutely follow along on Spotify, all the playlists, because there's a lot of content to be seen and to be enjoyed as well. So you've been in New York a little over a month now.
Yes, yeah, brand spanking new.
Have you
Still
officially
adjusting to the
changed your
humidity.
license yet?
No, actually, my license, I will because I think a New York license is cool and I want to be cool. But actually, my license is I worked on a show that filmed in Utah, and my license expired while I was there filming the show. So I had to renew
Oh,
my license in Utah. So I have a Utah license. So all the time people
which
will be
is
like,
pretty cool.
it is cool. It is a cool. I mean, Utah.
I'd hang on to it.
I don't know if Utah has the reputation for like being cool, but it is like it is like a fun story.
Parts
Like
of
people
it.
are like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's like, and while I was working on that show, I explored a lot of the cool parts. There was a lot of like beautiful mountains, gorgeous camping,
Oh yeah, good
salt
people.
flats. Yeah, good
Yeah.
people, really
I
great
want to
stuff.
get into the acting. I want to get into the music. I want to get into the travel. I want to get into all the things. But like I said, it's the fastest hour ever, and we're one
It
sixth of
is.
the way in. And
Oh
I
my
would love to
gosh,
hear another song.
I would love
What,
to play another.
what would you like to play for us next?
This is a song I used to perform this all the time live when I was like first doing like singing in bars and venues in LA, and then I finally recorded it 2 years ago, and it's called Baby Blue.
This is Baby Blue. All right, Jetta Juriansz here in the Jam Happy Hour. Enjoy.
We're just little kids in big kid bodies. We still play pretend and fake karate. But give me a boo-boo and you'll say sorry with a kiss. Yes, mister. You want chocolate cake for lunch and dinner, but when we race, you're always the winner. You use that face to give me a grin. I can't resist you, mister. I'll always want to play with you. You're my baby blue. We lay like lovers do in a fort that's built for two. 'Cause even when we're old and gray, I hope you stay, baby blue. Our memories might fade away, but you'll remain, baby blue. I'll always want to play with you. You're my baby blue. We'll lay like lovers do in a fort that's built for two. 'Cause even when we're old and gray, I hope you stay, baby blue. Our memories might fade away, but you'll remain, baby blue. Thank you.
You didn't write that about your boyfriend, did you?
I did. Well, actually, it's funny because my boyfriend was in my music video, and it was like it was like only 2 weeks into us dating, like, and I was like, "Do you
Oh,
wanna be in my
that's
music?"
that's projecting.
It was bold. It was
It was a bold
bold.
move.
But to
I
be
like it.
fair, I had a really good feeling. So I was like,
Oh
"Hey,
yeah.
do you like want to be in my music video?" And he said yes. And so
Jetta,
now it's kind of I
I
know.
can't with you. I can't.
I can't
Hey,
help it.
babe, you want to be in my music
I
video?
know. I feel like normally, like by the 2 week mark, you're like, "Hey, like, do you want to like meet my friends?" And I'm like, "Hey, do you want to like
Yeah.
solidify our relationship forever in space and time and put it out on the internet so everyone can see it?"
Well, to be
And
fair, how's that working out for you?
it's working out great. It's working out great. We're super in love, and he did a great job in the music video. So I'm glad. When I was doing it, I was like, I have a good feeling. He's amazing. I feel like I think he's going to stick around. But if not, I'll at least have a really hot guy in my
Right,
music video.
yeah.
And
I invite
that's
you guys to go to her Instagram. He is super cute. And he blew through pre-show, and he was just like all lovely and proud of his girls. So it's a beautiful
yeah,
thing.
exactly. Well, I'm gonna see when everybody followed me from this, and if it was only after I said I had a hot boyfriend, I'm
Boyfriend
coming for you. I'm coming for you all.
to say thank you.
Yes,
When you
honestly,
follow.
thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
I
do appreciate it.
To be in that kind of environment, to be, that happy and in a new place and experiencing new things,
Mhm.
are you constantly inundated with like thoughts or creativity or song ideas? Like, is it just like living in this almost like heated up atom bowl of like things that you want to, write or be
Yeah.
emotive about?
Totally. It really is. And I think also having a partner like my boyfriend Nick, who is also creative, it only
Mm.
makes that feeling even stronger because he just yes ands all of my ideas. I'll be like, wait, no, what if we did this? And he's like, yes, do it,
Yes.
baby. Like I love it. So yeah, I mean between the two of us, we crank out creative sorry, I said it like
Creatives.
we crank out creative stuff all the time, especially
Mhm.
because he's a musician and he's also an actor, and as a writer it's like we just there's always something to do, there's always something fun to do, and I always say that to any sort of creatives who are feeling a little stale, especially right now during the
Yeah.
SAG strikes, the WGA strikes. I'm like, you don't have to shut off that part of you just because
Mm.
we are amidst a strike. You can keep that part alive and keep feeding it because that's the part of you that makes this job worth doing in the first place. So,
Well, and it's a part of your human nature. Like
totally.
if you're not staying true to that muse and you're not, putting it out there, then what is happening to you on the inside? And I think a lot of us dealt with that, initially in the pandemic when it was like we were out and about and doing things and all of a sudden we weren't. You saw a lot of people kind of be like, I don't know how to be. And
100%.
it's interesting when you say, with the strikes that are going on right now, like a lot of people, I'm sure, are just like I'm not going to work. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to be creative. So when you're having those stressful days and you're
Mhm.
just like, oh, you can feel it, like what do you guys come home and do just to like blow off that steam or get that angst out? Like, what is your like silly go to? This is going to make me feel better thing.
Well, I had that feeling recently. I had that like really stuck kind of like sad stuck
Hmm.
feeling, especially with the strikes. I was just kind of like I was at a point where I was feeling like I've given my life to something. I've given my life to this industry.
Yeah.
And in a way I felt like it wasn't giving back to me in the same way. Like I was like it
Right.
felt like I was like in an unrequited like love relationship. Like I'm in love with this job. I love it so much, and it
Woo.
just feels like it doesn't love me back right now, and it's such a sad feeling. It makes you kind of feel like what was it all for? Like I've given
Right.
years of my life to you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I in
Frustration.
that totally, and in that moment I was just like, oh wait, the thing was in me the whole time. Like that
Mm,
was like I can never really expect for the industry, or like, not to sound like so independent, but like I can't expect anything to reward me the way that like my own creativity and like expressing myself rewards me so fully on its own.
mhm.
It's like it fulfills me more than a paycheck ever could. That being said,
Right.
I do love a paycheck.
I like to eat. I like to shop.
I love to pay my bills. It's like one of my favorite things to do. But that I think especially for a lot of people, and I'm sure this resonates with you, like it's more than just a job. Like it's like
Yeah,
my livelihood. It's
it's what
like
we do.
yeah, it's what we do. And so I think that's why it can hurt so much. But yeah, the goofy thing I do, and this is goofy, it's embarrassing, and it's taken me a while to admit this. So I'm being very brave right now.
Oh, roller
I
derby. It's roller derby, isn't it?
No, actually, roller derby would actually be brave. What I do is I listen to ASMR, like frequently. I like
What
love ASMR.
what is happening in the world?
I don't know why. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm such a loud person and I think so fast, and it's just nice to like listen to someone whisper, and in a weird way it like turns my brain off and it lets me just sort of be like a baby.
You know, It's funny you say that. Okay, so I don't typically throw the mom hat on in the Jam Happy Hour, and thank you everybody for jumping in and enjoying the music and the conversation here with us. We absolutely love having you here.
Thank you for
My
being here.
kid is into SMR. The YouTube, the kids in school will sit in class and share these videos, and I'm like, I thought it was just people chewing. I didn't. I didn't know that it was like, the whole like tap 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 whatever it is. Like
It
you find
is.
something repetitive. I have a thing in me, and there's a fancy name for it, that I can't handle repetitive noises.
Really?
So I get very angry.
Oh, this will have the exact opposite effect on
Right.
you, I think.
But it's very interesting
Yeah.
because I think it's mindlessness.
Mm,
And I think
yes.
you being able to do that, you can turn your brain off and just listen to that.
Yeah, it does. It kind of centers me in a way. And I think like uh, I don't know if this is actually like scientifically true enough, but I feel like we're in general we're so overstimulated, and I feel that way sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like auditions and emails and meetings and blah 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 blah, and it's like, and I love those things, but they are like stimulating, like they keep me going at all times.
It's fight or
And
flight.
it is, yeah. I'm constantly like, zooming around. I have to stay on and make sure that I'm like hitting all these things and responding on time and all those things. I think that's also just part of being an adult. But yeah, when I listen to ASMR, I just like it all sort of turns off, and it like
I love
calms
that.
me down in a weird way. Yeah, I do. I do really
love
like that.
that. I
So when
listen
I'm stressed,
to
yeah.
chill. I don't listen to ASMR, but I'll listen to like chill channels, and
Yes.
where it's the same music on a loop. It's kind of the same
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah. Have you
but
seen
it's
the like
mindless.
lo-fi girl? Have you
That's it.
seen?
Yep.
Yes. It's so
We're having
good.
it's so good.
We're
Okay.
bonding.
You
Yeah.
need to make a lo-fi
I would
ASMR
actually love
song.
to. I would actually really love to do that.
That is your homework assignment.
The first song I wrote, the first song I played, actually, My Nothing,
Right.
was like I put it to my friend made an animation. My friend like is a cartoonist, and
Oh,
he made
wow.
an animation that was like it reminds me of Lo-Fi Girl. It was years before, but it was this girl kind of like sitting and looking out the window as like planets went by. And gosh, now I need to find his. I will follow
You
up. I
write
will
a song
comment on
based
this.
on it.
I
Like,
did, because it was soothing in that same way. Like it kind of made me think about, I don't know, this girl looking out the window as space went by, and I
yeah.
was like, then we're all that girl sometimes, But
That's
yeah,
the
I'll
power of music,
comment.
though. I mean,
It
like, the
is.
music that you're making, the music that you're creating and putting out, or just the music that you're enjoying, I mean, that's the beauty of it. It can pull you from one place to another, and sometimes it's exactly what you need. And the fact that
Yes.
you get to do that for other people is probably a pretty cool feeling.
Yeah, I mean, totally, especially because like that's why I love music to begin with. Like I really love music as the sense of storytelling and helping people transport themselves to a place that feels really familiar, hopefully, like a place that makes them, taps into a feeling that they're like, oh, like that feeling, that I know exactly what that feels like. That's always my hope. And then, as an actor, I love making music videos as well. So
Yeah, of
for me,
course.
like putting visuals to it only helps drive home that story for me. So yeah, that's always my hope with music. So I
I
hope
wanna get into
people love it.
storytelling, and I definitely wanna get into kind of to, like, your visual versus, musical mindset, but I would
Mhm.
love to get into our 3rd song. We're almost halfway through the hour, which is crazy.
Oh my God, it's going by so fast.
It goes so fast. So, what would you like to play for us next here in the Jam Happy Hour?
Now I'm going to play my first song I ever wrote, ever.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I don't think I've ever played this. At least I've played it live, but it's been many many years, so I don't think that
Mhm.
the majority of my followers have ever heard the song. So yeah, this is a song, and I will tell the story behind it because it's a funny story.
I wanna
I
hear
don't know if
it.
you saw the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
The directors, there are these two men named Daniel, so they're called the Daniels. But they're the first movie, the first movie they ever directed was a movie called Swiss Army Man, and I saw it in the theaters as a part of a Q&A. And at the time, I was doing this thing with my friends where we were meeting up in my friend's shed and writing something weekly. And so I decided I was going to write music for all of the homework we were giving ourselves. And the homework assignment they gave us for that week, or we gave ourselves for that week, was ask a stranger for the title of the next thing you write. And so while I was at the screening, I was like, it would be really fun if I asked the Daniels to give me the title. So I didn't do it during the Q&A because I wanted to respect everyone's time and everything. But after the Q&A, I went and I met them afterwards. They're amazing. They're so nice. And I knew that they were going to do amazing things, and they already have. But I went up to them and I was like, hey, can you guys give me the title of a song that I'm gonna write? And they like sort of whispered to each other, and they're like, shh, and they agreed on something, and they looked at me and they said potato pancakes. And so that's why I have a song called Potato Pancakes. It's because of the Daniels, and I'm so grateful to them because I do love this song still to this day.
And potato pancakes.
Yes, here we go. Yeah, and potato pancakes. Love them.
All right, Jetta, take it away here in the Jam Happy Hour.
I want potato pancakes, I don't want you. I get more comfort from comfort food. Please save your hugs. I feel more snug with a plate of potato pancakes. You're sweeter than applesauce, I'm sour as sour cream. Though I enjoy our talks, you should stay away from me. I can't do love, I'm not able. It's been the same since I was 3. I spend more time at the dinner table eating grandma's recipes. I want potato pancakes, I don't want you. I get more comfort from comfort food. Please save your hugs. I feel more snug with a plate of potato pancakes. Pancakes.
Thank you. I love singing the word pancakes. It's so satisfying. Really makes me feel like an artist.
So my brain went straight to comfort food, and I'm thinking, okay, potatoes, pancakes,
Like, what's on the menu?
Syrup, and then I was just like, I haven't had dinner yet. It's fine.
Oh no, Jetta, no.
When it comes to comfort food, and I know we've all been relying on it heavily here lately.
Yes.
What is your go-to? Can always make it better comfort food meal?
100% Indian food. 100 every time.
Whoa.
Every single time.
Well, that comes from your upbringing, or is that just because?
It does.
Okay.
No, it totally does. Yeah, because I was raised eating, I'm Sri Lankan, but I was raised eating Indian food, curry all the time with my grandpa. But it's so funny because he had different names for things.
Yeah.
This might resonate with some people who are like first, second generation. He like used to call different foods other names. I think maybe to gentrify them a little bit. Honestly,
Right.
Love him. But yeah, he used to call samosas. He would call them patties. And so I was brought up eating all these foods, but like in a way, I kind of lacked the like information and the culture aspect of it. And I was like, yeah. Patties. And then I was like,
and then you go into a restaurant and you order something and you're like, this is patties.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, right. I was like, got it. But yeah, my boyfriend, we met on Hinge, and one of his responses on Hinge, I think it was like, "What's a food you could eat every day for the rest of your life?" And he put Indian food. And there were so many other reasons to swipe on him or like him or whatever it is on Hinge, but that was, that was enough of a reason for me. I was like,
Gold star.
like.
Liking you.
And we had Indian food on our first date, and we've eaten it probably 100 million times since then. It's like our favorite thing in the world.
Have you found your spot yet there in New York since you're new?
We haven't found our like everyday spot. We've been to like a couple very bougie Indian spots that are amazing, and I do recommend them. If anyone is going to be coming to New York and loves Indian food, there's Sema, there's Damka, and then there was a place we went with his parents that was, I think it was Mexican and Indian fusion, and it was called Nora, and all of them were amazing, but they're not like the kind you sort of like get takeout on. They're like fancy Indian food. So it's like, I will go there on a birthday, but on a sad Sunday, I need to find. But if you have any recommendations, please.
I got a guy. I got recommendations for you. And I recommend anybody that's watching, especially if you're in the New York area, if you've got that great little neighborhood, almost bodega kind of place that you just love to get your takeout from, please list it below, because that way I'm traveling there with my daughter next month. And obviously with you living there and being new, we can all educate each other on some really great
me and Jenna are honestly, that's the real purpose of this stream. It's actually, we're just looking for restaurant recommendations. Nothing
I need
else.
pizza, Indian food, and soup.
Bagels.
I need soup.
You love soup? I love soup.
Every meal.
I make soup. Are you joking? I've never met someone who loves soup like I do. I make so much soup. I'm like a soup freak.
All right, soup sister. We're gonna start swapping recipes, and we can make songs about soup.
I don't know why I haven't, honestly. Soup is like my real passion. Like I'm like a little soup weirdo. I love soup.
We will circle back on that 100,000%. But it also makes me think, like, you as a creative, and you're a visual artist as well as a musical artist. I mean, you acting and sketch and comedy, like, you have to think fast. Like, obviously I can just tell by talking to you, like, your brain's at a click, like, you're always taking in information and figuring it out what you want to do and like kicking it back out. What do you do when you're in that situation where this amazing song idea or sketch idea or something comes to you, and you are like at the DMV, or you're driving, or there's no way you're going to get this thought out correctly, but it's that good? How do you grab it?
It's all in the Notes app. My Notes app is unhinged. It looks like the ramblings of a serial killer. There's like one words in there sometimes. Like I'll just be like cloud, pen. But most of the stuff I've written has started in the Notes app or just like a voice memo on my phone. Like I'll just be like blah 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 blah, and then it turns into a song. But yeah, for sketch, a lot of the sketch I've done has been in like either on a TV show or in a team of some kind. So for sketch ideas, usually I'll just like toss ideas out in a room, and then we'll ping pong around until it lands in a place.
In that kind of improv kind of space.
Yeah, where we can like sort of like figure out what the funniest part of that pitch really is, and then really like hone in on that pitch, basically. So I do love that about the comedy spaces. You're almost, especially, I'm not a stand-up. I've tried it. It's not for me. Not for me. Right. It's intimidating to like sort of be on your own. And I love comedy in a collaborative atmosphere. Like I love working with other people. So for me, collaboration is always it for comedy.
It has to be. It has to be correlative in the fact that in this one space you've got to be unfiltered, taking in all the information at once. Creating your response and going with it, and then also songwriting, which is something that is so permanent. Like once it's created, once it's recorded, like it's unchanging. And of course you can waver in the live performance, but when you record a song and it is very much done and dusted, like that is a very interesting, different sides of the perspective to be on. Do you think it kind of feeds both sides of your creative soul to be able to do that?
Yeah, I totally do. I think that's kind of the cool thing about the arts is sometimes things just don't turn out the way that you had planned it or the way it was in
Life.
your head. Yeah, which is life. And I think something that I've learned later on in my career, because it used to really get to me, like it used to just sort of drive me crazy. Like
Mm,
I'd be like, man, like, I wanted it to be like this and then it didn't turn out or whatever. Or like,
mhm.
in the film world, I'll be like, man, but the sound edit didn't work or like whatever. Cause there's so many variables with creativity when
Often
you're
things that are out of your control.
100%. It's like most of the time, even if it's totally your idea, there are a bunch of hands on it, which
Right.
is why art is so cool. I'm like, that's the reason that
Yeah,
the things that I've done have been successful if they were successful. It's because so many people put their hands on it, but also
I look at it.
when so many people put their hands on it, some stuff comes and it's out of your control or whatever, or like, if something doesn't work, it's so easy to be like, oh, but if I had or whatever. But I think I've grown out of that, luckily, because it's not a good mindset to have. It's
Mm,
I feel like it's detrimental to like trusting in the process and trusting your art to begin with. But also when you are hard on the end product,
right.
you are oftentimes depriving other people from enjoying your art. Like I for instance, Baby Blue, when it came out, I was like really
Mhm.
critical of it for some reason, because My Nothing had been so successful for me as like a first single, that I
Sure.
I felt so much more pressure the second time around. I was like, it
Right.
has to be perfect, and it was like freaking me out. Like I was like so hard on the song for some reason, even though I'd been singing it for years and like whatever. I was really hard on it. And then I had a friend, my friend Christina, she's a dancer and she was teaching
Wow.
a class, a choreography class, and she decided to use Baby Blue as the song she was going to teach.
Aw.
And it touched me so much. I was like so moved by that. And it's so weird because in that moment, my instinct was like, really? Like, why didn't you use My Nothing? Like my first song. And isn't that crazy? And she was like, oh, but because I like
That
Baby Blue
critical
more. Like
voice.
she was like, yeah, she was like, I like Baby Blue. Like that's the song I like. And it dawned on me like, oh yeah, like why am I critiquing something that someone else loves? Like that's so hurtful, like in a way. Like it's kind of rude that I would kind of steal someone else's enjoyment of something just because I'm being critical of it. So I've kind of learned to like let things go and be like, that's how it
Well,
exists,
you
And like
you have to.
you have to. I mean, it's out of your control now. And it's made me love the things I do more, flaws and all, flaws and
Flaws and
all.
all.
Yeah, nothing is going to be absolutely perfect. And if you do become an artist that is obsessed with perfection, you'll be harder to work with, you'll be harder to collaborate with, and
Mhm.
it'll be harder for you to enjoy the process of it all and enjoy the fruits of your labor too. Like you should be able to put something out and just be like, that's it. That's a part of me. So yeah.
I think we all could take that advice in everyday life, honestly.
True. True
To
that.
not lay at bed with the hamster wheel going at night of like, this and what I and
Totally.
I wanna talk about collaborations. I wanna get into, what's next and what's coming up, but I would love to jump in on another song here as we are enjoying, Jetta Juriansz here in the Jam Happy Hour. It is about the music, and if you are enjoying the music and the artistry and the creativity, please jump into her socials and the playlists and all of your platforms, whether it's Spotify or iHeart or wherever you're listening. Just make sure you follow along, and then that way you can kind of see this journey that we're all now a part of. And moving forward, what would you like to play for us next?
The next song I want to play is my most recent single I released called Mine. And this is a song I wrote about my boyfriend. If you can't tell, I'm obsessed with my boyfriend.
It's mine. He's mine. I love him so
Exactly.
much. I made him a song. It's called Mine.
Yeah. And
I
here it
love
is. And this is what I say. It's a song for greedy hearts everywhere. So if you have a
it.
greedy heart,
Aw.
I hope you enjoy.
Thank you. Enjoy.
I'm throwing pebbles at your window. I wanna kiss ya even when my mouth is full. You are the best thing I've ever pulled. And I want ya, can I call ya Mr. Wonderful? I feel really, really good about you. I think I got it right this time. I don't want another day without you. Wake you up before morning to ask you if you're really mine, 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 really mine. I'm wearing headbands 'cause you like them. I like and what you do with them. You could make me blush on a whim. And I want ya, can I call ya Mr. My best friend? I feel really, really good about you. I think I got it right this time. I don't want another day without you. Wake you up before morning to ask you if you're really mine, 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 really mine.
Thanks.
That is so sweet.
Yeah,
By the way, I want to squeeze you both. It's so good. But what I was hearing in that song, honestly, is like a lot of different influences. I heard a little rock. I heard a little, old school. I heard a little Motown. I heard a little pop. I heard like
Amazing. Thank you.
musical influences. Like what? I mean, I know you got a big, busy house with all your sisters and all the things and travel and probably like hours upon hours stuck in the family's, minivan or whatever it was. But what were the musical influences growing up? What has stuck with you?
We listened to so much classic rock, so that was probably the majority of like what I grew up with. Hell yeah, AC/DC. Yeah, I'm like, what if I told you I'm like, I want to sound just like AC/DC? Like, am I nailing it?
Killing it.
But yeah, the music that I listen to so much disco, and I know that sounds like it wouldn't line up, but for some
Oh.
reason, like a storytelling aspect, there's like a correlation there for me.
Well,
Um,
I'm gonna jump into my own question there because so much of disco and funk and that whole, like, chic sound was
yeah.
storytelling, and it was visual, and it was the whole kit and caboodle, which is you because you're acting and you're singing and you're songwriting and you're doing all the things. That makes total sense to me. Okay, I'll dip out.
Oh my gosh, that means so much to me, honestly. That like really does because like that's what I love. Like I love the drama. Like I love the whole thing. I love, yeah, and like this is performance. Like we're like
Right.
performing, and I want to like put on a show in a way.
It
And
makes
so
sense
like
that that kind of
obviously,
music would hit with you because that's what
totally,
that was. I mean, that was the
yes.
full boogie.
Yes, and like in a way they're kind of doing a character and a lot of my music I don't even feel like is coming from like my perspective per se. Like a lot of it feels like it's almost like a character's
Hmm.
monologue. Like I've written songs where I'm like this is not about my experience at all. It's like
Mhm.
not from my point of view even at all. It's just sort of written from the point of view of a person I've come up with in a way.
Right.
So yeah, some of my music is that way. Not definitely not the last three songs I played that are mine. Those are very much like me sounding, but a lot
Right,
of
right,
my other
right.
songs are like almost, just a totally different thing. So yeah,
Like
that means so
early
much to me.
musical influences. Like
Yeah.
what is a cassette that you can remember holding? Or I don't know how young you are, but like, like those the first
um
album you bought, like the thing that
I
you went to, first concert you went to. Like I'm so curious because there's so many sounds happening.
thank
Like
you.
when did you get passionate about music and what artists do you remember?
Well, I'm a musical theater freak first and foremost. And
Gotcha.
I love musical theater, but I think the music that I would like put on, like this is how I equate it because if a cute boy was coming over and I wanted to
Okay.
impress them, this
What were
I
you putting on?
literally would put on Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, and I thought that that was like sexy music. I literally was like, this will set the tone, and it was like,
Oh my
"Ooh," like why did I think this was going to seduce anyone? I don't know. I simply don't know. But
Jetta, we've just
I
gone to a whole new level. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that in this safe space.
yes. And like since it's just you and me and no one else is watching.
No one else.
Um
No.
but I also the music of my family is definitely ABBA. Like ABBA
Ah,
is it. Like that's what we put
fun.
on when we're drinking spicy margs and we're all dancing together. I have countless videos of me and my sisters and my mom singing and dancing to ABBA. So definitely
Can you
ABBA's a
believe
big
we live in a world where ABBA won a Grammy last year?
isn't that incredible? And they're just touring, their holograms are touring. Oh my
Their
god, I love
holograms are
it.
touring.
I love it. I'm obsessed. I love ABBA. And in a way, I think going back to the musical theater thing,
Mhm.
Mamma Mia is a musical entirely made up of ABBA songs. And I
Sure.
think the reason that works so well is because ABBA music is storytelling. Like it's like most of the songs are telling the story. They're very like visual. They're very like feely. And
Yeah.
I do try to do that in my music, even if it doesn't sound like ABBA at all, in my own way.
All right, I'm gonna throw a word out. We're gonna see where it goes.
Oh boy.
In that same vein, Xanadu.
Xanadu. I love it.
But it's the same thing. It's over the top, it's campy, it's disco, it's
Totally.
a story, it's a character, it's a vibe. Santa Monica, California, roller skating, tight clothes, all the whole thing, it's
In my
it's
mind,
feel
that's what I
good.
look like. In my mind,
Yes.
I'm Olivia Newton-John, and I'm wearing itty bitty shorts, and I'm just roller skating across the world. Even though in real life, I'm just a danger on roller skates. Frankly, I'm a danger. You
No,
should avoid me at
yeah.
all costs on wheels. But yeah,
Good thing
I
you're in New York
love
City now.
exactly. Yes. No. No more driving even. But if anyone wants to see more of what I mean, I think my music videos do a better job of like showcasing that part of me, like the
Yeah.
dramatics of it all. My music video, My Nothing, is like kind of like a clown. Um, it's like a clown story. That
Well, it's
sounds
very
very
visual.
lame, but it is cool, I swear. So look it up.
No, it's not lame. It's
Yeah.
cool in the sense of you can definitely did you have the visual when you wrote the song, or did you come up with the visual after the fact?
Yes. So I've said this several times in like different interviews, but I've almost like most of the songs that all the songs I've recorded in the hopes that they would be music videos. So
Sure.
I very much like write from a visual standpoint, and
Got it.
the first portion or the first hook of it I wrote beforehand. But the reason I finished that song is because I in LA there was this studio owned by several women. It's no longer operating. I wish it was because I love it so much. But it was called the Babe Cave, and it was just these women who owned this studio, and they would essentially make sets on the studio that a limited amount of people could use for their art. And they
Interesting.
would, yeah. So basically, like they would create like a set that would like a backdrop, a beautiful, cool backdrop, and then they would be like, we're only letting a certain amount of people use it. And so they created this like really cool, beautiful clouds. Like it was like basically like a skyscape
Mhm.
backdrop. And I saw it and I was like, I must do something on this backdrop. So I purchased it. I was like, I'm renting this space
That.
out. And I was like, you're coming home with me. And my time to use it was a week from that day. And I was like, okay, so I have to, because I was like, I think it would work with my song, My Nothing, that I haven't finished writing. So I wrote the rest of the song with that
With the
backdrop in
visual in mind.
mind. Yeah. So I basically, and I'm so grateful that I have so many amazing collaborators in my life that are willing to, on a whim, just like jump on these
Go
ideas
for
with
it.
me. That's like the coolest thing about art, is like getting your friends to just jump in with you. But I was like, I called my friend Megan and I was like, hey Megan, do you want to make a music video? And they were like, yes. And I was like,
Yes.
thank God. And so then I called my friend Greg and I was like, Greg, can I record a song in your studio? And he was like,
Now.
yes. Yeah, I was like, literally, we're already late. So we like recorded, I think the next day. And then we filmed, 6 days after that. And then I think like a week and a half after that, we had a music video and a song done, and it dropped a
It
month
sounds
later.
like
So
beautiful chaos.
it was chaos for sure. And it turned out exactly, that was one project that turned out exactly how I hoped. And I think I walked away being like, sometimes when you trust your instincts and you don't overthink it and you just sort of plunge into it, hoping that you make something, you'll leave with something that you're so proud of.
Right.
And you didn't waste all of that emotional energy and stress second guessing yourself. You just like had only the time to go with your first instincts. So that's why I always say, like, set a date for yourself. Be like, whatever this is will be done on this day, and no
Mhm.
matter what, you'll have a product. You will, because you've given yourself a
Because you've
deadline.
given yourself that deadline.
Yeah, and
So
it does help.
for our next song, as the hour is quickly
Hmm.
ticking away,
Yes.
what would you like to play, and how long did it take you to make this song?
Um, Funny you say that. I'm actually thinking I want to play a cover because someone I didn't mention, but I wish I had when you said influences, is this band called Miniature Tigers. They're from Arizona, actually. And so I was exposed to them when I was like 18 or 19.
Seen
And
them.
yes, they're
Seen them. They opened up
amazing.
for Capital Cities, I think. Wait,
Yes,
totally
yes,
random. Yes,
totally.
so good.
They're amazing, and I connected so deeply with them. I'm sure because we're just like all from Arizona, but I love their music so much. And like, I don't often play covers in my sets, especially when I used to do live sets. But like, if I
Mhm.
can play a cover, it'll always be a Miniature Tigers cover because I love their music so much. So this
All
is
right,
one
you
of those
guys,
songs.
add them to your playlist. Here you go.
Yes. Darling, look how young we are, wishing on a star, sleeping in your arms. We fit like a pair of beat-up shoes, with nothing left to prove.
we can be ourselves. Darling, you're the only one. Please be good to me. No one loves you like I do. And until death do us part, you can have my Viking heart. Precious, you mean so much to me. You keep good company. We can be ourselves. We're fresh like a pair of newborn kids, learning how to kiss, learning how to love. Darling, you're the only one. Please be good to me. No one loves you like I do. And until death do us part, you can have my Viking heart. Darling, you're the only one. Please be good to me. No one loves you like I do. And until death do us part, you can have my Viking heart. And until death do us part, please keep my Viking heart. Miniature Tigers.
Viking Heart, such
Viking
a
Heart.
great song.
It is
Thank
so
you.
good.
Thank you for jumping in on that. Our hour is quickly coming to a close. I have
Oh my
one
gosh.
super important question. Are you up for the sixth song?
I'm ready. Let's
Okay.
do it.
Before that,
Yes.
what is next? What can we look forward to you doing,
Well,
Miss Jetta?
I have a show coming up if you're local to New York. I have a show coming up on the 19th. So it's a week from today, actually.
Oh yeah, it's happening.
Yes. At the Makers Ensemble. It's this really cool, it'll be my first live show I'm playing in New York, apart from this one.
Aw.
And I'm so excited, and it's a super intimate venue. There's only 30 seats, so if you want tickets, please get them. But it's going to be a really special night. I'm playing, and this amazing artist Mike is going after me, and it's just the two of us. So it'll be a really
And they can
special
grab the
night.
links and stuff off of your socials, and it's all posted there.
Yeah, it's all on my social media, so you can find it. I'll be posting about it all week leading up to, and the tickets are $10. It'll be very sweet, very intimate, and I would love if any of you came. So please, if you're local, come on by.
I love that. Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for your talent.
Thank
And we
you.
have time for one more song here in the Jam
Amazing.
Happy Hour. What would you like to send us off with? What energy are you going to give us to roll back into our lives?
I think it would be really nice, another cover, but I think I would love to play Honey High by Fleetwood Mac, if that's
Oh my God,
okay.
yes, please.
I
I'm gonna
love
stop.
this song.
Go right ahead.
Amazing. Okay, here's Honey High.
Thank you.
Also, when I heard this song for the first time, my friend was playing it on a record, and I was like, hold on. It's from the album Tusk. And I was like, hold on, run that one back. And I listened to it like 6 times in a row because I was so obsessed with it. So this is Honey High. And it's so simple. It's only 2 chords. I love it.
Honey, 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 sweeter than you. Honey, honey, honey. Bittersweet, but what could I do? Lord, it's good to talk to you. Even sweeter than wine. Don't take the love light away, 'cause I'm far away from home. Baby, all I'm trying to tell ya, Lord, I really love you. Honey, 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 honey. Honey, 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 hi. Baby, all I'm trying to tell you, honey, 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 honey. Daddy, all I'm trying to tell you, honey, 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 hi, hi. Honey, 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 honey. Honey, honey, honey. Hi.
Thank you.
Oh, and cheers to Christine McVie. I mean,
Oh my gosh.
that a 44-year-old song can feel just as necessary today, as originally written in 79. And you playing it and you voicing it is so beautiful. Thank you so much
Thank
for an
you.
incredible hour.
Thank
We
you
will
so much.
absolutely be following along and looking forward. Congrats on the show next week and many, many more to come. And
Thank you. By the
again,
way, I've been
cheers.
enjoying this the whole time. I just forgot to shout it out, but like this wine is incredible. If you guys are just following for the music, you should be following for the wine.
The wine.
Too. The wine is amazing. I'm like loving this so much. Thank you so much for sending this to me. It's delicious. So thank you.
Happy to do it. Happy to share the hour with you. Happy to keep following along with you. And again, thank you for sharing your talent and your time, and soup recipes to come on your Instagram. Not to worry.
Yes.
I
Follow me for
like,
soup.
Follow for soup. And
Follow for soup.
Please keep us posted and let us know what's going on, and have a beautiful evening. And thank you.
Will do. Thank you so much, Jana. And thank you to everyone at JaMHappyHour. This was such an amazing time. Thank you.
Well, cheers to that.
Cheers.